I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about powerful ways to get him thinking about you. Okay, ladies, so one of the struggles I find from you ladies time and time again is that when you are interested in a guy and you're thinking about him, you start to feel really insecure. You start to feel like you're losing him and that he's going to leave you or find another woman, maybe that's prettier than you or funnier than you, and it really wears you down emotionally. You start to just get drained by the constant obsessing and wondering if, am I going to hear from this guy again? We just hooked up, maybe you hooked up for the first time. Oh great, that's it. He probably doesn't care about me anymore. He's lost interest. It happens. And so I understand that when you ladies are going through this, it really brings you down. And it starts to really mess with how you see yourself. It really can affect your self-esteem and your self-worth. And once that insecurity is drawn out, you don't start to get excited about the situation because you just can't even enjoy the moment and the fun that a dating or dating life or relationship are supposed to be, right? So I'm going to talk about some really important ways that you can make changes in your behavior that are really going to impact how a guy sees you or starts to think about you more, okay? So one of the big mistakes that I see women do all the time is they try to lock a guy down, okay? You see this guy, you start to have fun with him, and you start to think to yourself, okay, if I don't get into a committed relationship with him right away, he's going to find somebody else. Well, that eagerness comes out, and it can be a real turnoff for a guy, right? Like, I've had a girl told me she loved me like 4 times on like the second date. Maybe it was the first date. I can't remember. And it was like, this is a great girl. She's funny. She's smart. She's pretty. But this is too much. I cannot date a woman that's professing her love for me on the first or the second date. And people pick up. Of course, you're not going to see such extreme things all the time. But men pick this up. Okay? It's in your energy. Okay? We all have energy. And it's not always able to put energy into a description or a word. Because a lot of times we make other people feel the way that we're feeling inside. And we don't realize it. We do this unconsciously. And so, you know, as a therapist, I understand that I can pick up the vibes, the feeling that you're having, and if I feel that way in myself, I know that's probably how you're feeling. Well, you know, most guys aren't going to be able to sit there and explain that to you logically like I can, but they'll feel it, okay? So it's important to understand that your eagerness to lock them down comes across as insecure, and then they're like, well, you know, if there's something wrong with her, then why do I want her? You know what I mean? It almost gives that vibe off. So don't be so eager to lock a guy down. Make him work for you, okay? Because the harder they work for you, the more they're investing in you. And the more that they're investing in you, the more they're going to appreciate and value you. People value what they work for. It's really important that you ladies understand this. People value what they work for, okay? So I have 3 big tips that I think are easy to do as long as you're conscious and aware of it. And this is really going to get a guy to start to think about you more, okay? So one of the things I would tell you ladies to do is make plans with your friends and your family ahead of time, okay? Plan things out in your life. So that way, the guy that you're talking to or maybe going on dates with realizes that your time is a commodity, okay? And you're not going to be sitting around waiting for him to be like, hey, can I just come over? And then he just comes over and hooks up with you and leaves. Like, he's not going to show any value in that. He's going to be like, well, okay, that was fun, but there's no real longing for that or desire to be with somebody when that's all they're getting. You know what I mean? So, if he sees value in your time, he will value you more. Okay? That's one of the first major points I want to make here. If he values your time, he will value you more. Okay? So you got to think about that. So, when you're not seeing these guys that you're dating, maybe there's one particular guy that you like. If he starts ignoring you, ladies, stop ignoring the guys who are actually giving you attention. And I am willing to bet that most of you ladies are guilty of doing this. Stop ignoring the guys who actually are giving you their attention because they are trying to invest in you and to get to know you, okay? I understand you like a challenge, but if this guy letter A, guy number one, let's call him guy number one, that makes sense. If guy number one is the one you're really interested in, but he's not contacting you and he's only trying to come see you and leave, but guy number two, let's call him guy number B, that makes more sense? Okay, obviously I'm kidding. Guy number two wants to get to know you, is taking you out, planning fun dates, planning fun evenings. I think it's time to start looking at guy number two more closely and evaluating if he's going to be a better partner than the guy that is ignoring you. Okay? So ladies, please give a chance to a guy that is trying to show you they're interested in you and investing in you and actually doing it with their actions. Okay? Because if you start to value those guys more, you might find yourself in situations with men who actually really care about you and are looking for something of value. Okay? And not a game. Okay. Major point number 2. Don't overshare on social media. Some of you ladies are just out of control. You're posting on Snapchat, you're posting on Instagram, you're posting on Facebook. You're all over the place, and the guy knows where you're at and what you're doing every single moment of the day. And that really destroys somebody's curiosity. Okay? I would tell you to be a lot more balanced on social media. I see people on my Instagram that are posting every single day where they look bored out of their mind. And I'm not kidding you. They're walking to the bus stop. They're sitting on the bus. They're not doing anything. If you're not sharing something interesting or fun, don't share. Let them wonder. Okay? Sitting there pointing at your McDonald's wrapper is not going to make him intrigued. Not knowing where you're at and what you're doing is a lot more curiosity provoking than, everything that you show. So, please, ladies, do not post everything that you're doing online. It makes you look boring, and he's not wondering if he's going to lose you to somebody else if he knows where you're at all hours of the day. Okay? Less is more. Okay. My third major point has to do with when you are actually spending time with a guy. This is critical, ladies. If you are interested in somebody romantically and you are spending time with them, that is the time to shine. That is the time where you show him, I am your best option. It doesn't matter what other women are out there. I am the best catch. Okay? And you can do that by being present with him. When you're with him, be present with him. The energy that you can feel with somebody is a huge shift, as if instead of if you're having your phone out and you're checking your phone, or you're focused on other things. Be curious about him. Put that phone away when you're on a date and find out about this guy, where he's from, what he's interested in, what his dreams are. Get to know him. What is his family like? Find out, because you really want to know what their attachment is like anyway. But if you are exuding a presence and energy, and a feminine energy is extremely attractive to a guy. I have been out with some very beautiful girls that I didn't have any romantic interest in because of their energy level. They weren't fun or playful. They had walls up, or they were trying to play games. Some women are rigid with following rules. I remember one girl I went out with, we had a great date, the chemistry was good, and she wouldn't kiss me goodnight. And she said, I don't kiss on the first date. And it was frustrating because, I wasn't looking to, push it any further than a goodnight kiss. But the chemistry was so strong, and I knew how rigid she was, that it turned me off. And we wound up talking a little bit longer, but ultimately I lost interest in her because of her attitude. There was just this rigid, planned set of rules that she wanted to follow, and it destroyed her energy and the connection and the momentum that we had. Okay, so ladies, think about that. And of course, I would never tell you to do anything that didn't make you feel comfortable, but just be aware that the energy between two people can be felt, and feminine energy is extremely powerful. And I would say most women are so anxious or avoidant that they struggle to do it on a date. And so you will have a leg up on these ladies if you can understand how you are in the date. I can tell you, when I was single for a while, there were certain women that I was like, wow, I really had a good time with this woman. And certain women that I'm like, oh, no way. There are little things that you could do that would surprise a guy, like offer to buy him a drink at the bar. If you're on a date, hey, let me get this drink. Or maybe you insist on paying for the date, or at least offer to pay for the date, or part of the date. Maybe part of the date is doing one thing, part of the date is going someplace, and you say, you know what, you took care of that part, I'm going to take care of this part. Guys sometimes worry that a woman is using them for money. And so if you could show even a little bit of difference in that area, it could be a real turn on for a guy, okay? Have fun, create moments, tell jokes, be able to banter. Banter is great. Being mischievous on a date, where maybe you make a fun little dare with somebody. I dare you to go say that to that person, or do this. Funny little things like that are going to be what make you stand out from the other ladies that are out there, and more than just trying to hook up with you and use you, because you don't want anybody who's just going to do that in the long run anyway. Now listen, I'm not telling you how to live your life. You do whatever makes you happy. But if you're looking for somebody that really is in it for the long term, get them to invest in you. Let them wonder about you. And then when they are with you, blow them away with your personality. Okay? You'll stand out, and he'll be thinking about you all the time. Okay, so when you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching, and I do Skype. And be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.